fiscal week is Wednesday through Tuesday. And I know it's kind of different for some people, but that's just how we do it here. But for me, everything starts on Monday, preparing for the following Sunday. And just what a great day God gave us yesterday, just special soul winning experiences yesterday. You don't get them that often all in one time. Yesterday, of course, I put on Facebook. Many of you saw it. I was able to, young man that was in an auto accident a couple of days ago, almost lost his life. And laying there in the hospital bed, 2 broken legs, was able to lead him to Christ. Then I ran into a young man. I'm not going to say much. I'll just put it this way. He's a teenage young man. And he walked out and was sitting down on some steps. And I happened to see that. And I went over and just started talking to him. And I sat down next to him. We began to talk for a little bit, found out this young man, he's fighting alcoholism as a teenager. Just a rough life. Life has hit him hard. And I was able to share the gospel with him, and he got saved. And I'm telling you, there are people who are broken everywhere. If we could just get out, I wish people would get past their playing games and understand that this world is filled with broken people. We have to just get out and reach them before they do damage to themselves and to others and to their life and ruin their life. How we've got to get out, how we need to get caring for this. Too many people are so wrapped up in themselves, we can't see we live in a broken old world. And the answer is still Jesus Christ. He will always be the answer to every problem that we face. And I would encourage you this holiday season, as we are approaching it, let's not get so wrapped up in the holidays that we forget there's a lot of broken people out there that just need some help. That'd be a good thing to do. Well, today, I want to read to you from Isaiah 57, verse 10. The scripture says, "Thou art wearied in the greatness of thy way, yet saidest thou not, there is no hope. Thou hast found the life of thine hand, therefore thou wast not grieved." Those living in God's blessings often do not know what they have until they have lost it. When we look back through history, one must wonder if those who are part of the great works of the past knew how great the work was while they were in it. I believe that many knew that God was doing something when they had big days, but the mundane between those big days was not common, but great. That's what they didn't understand. I personally had the privilege of being in the ministry of Dr. Jack Hyles. I believe many of us who are in the ministry of Brother Hyles, I believe many of us, we knew we were living in history. But I am not sure if we ever understood what we were actually seeing. You see, it was common in our world when we lived under Brother Hyles' ministry to see thousands saved and baptized yearly, and to see people walk the aisle Sunday morning and night for salvation and follow the Lord in believers' baptism. That was a regular, not just one or two. I mean, dozens and dozens would walk the aisle on Sunday morning and getting baptized. Our world was to hear the great preaching of Dr. Jack Hyles. We got spoiled by it. However, our world also took hard work. Our world, back in those days, took all day Saturdays visiting people so that our bus routes would be filled. Our days took countless hours of work to see the great Pentecost Sundays that we had, the 3,000 and 5,000 people saved and baptized on one Sunday. We saw that. But it took countless hours of work. Now, it would be easy to become wearied with the greatness of our ways because our ways took hard work. However, our ways also brought great reward. God says, he says, "Thou art wearied in the greatness of thy way." Now, our ways, the ways under Brother Hyles, can I just tell you, they brought great reward. We would only become wearied with the greatness of our ways if we focused on the long hours of work instead of looking at being a part of history and having God's favor on our church. Let me be clear. Brother Hyles could not have done this work alone, but he did it with the help of thousands of people who were willing to be involved in such a great work. But the danger of being in such a great work is that we get used to its greatness and become wearied with it. I wonder how many people who were under Brother Howell's ministry got wearied with the greatness of the way, and they missed out on seeing the great blessings God did in his ministry with the people who worked with him. I wonder how many people look back and wish that they could go back and see those ways once again. I wonder how many people got wearied with the greatness of the ways, and they started becoming unfaithful to church and got involved in something else, and now they look back and say, boy, if I could only have that. Never let the work of great ways weary you, my friend. Don't get wearied with the way of the great ways. If you see souls saved and baptized in your church every week, you had better revel in the fact that you are making history, and do everything in your power to see those ways continue. Don't become wearied in the greatness of the way and become critical of those ways. You can always look to the other side and see people living and playing in the world and think you're missing out. But the only thing you're missing out on is the heartache that world gives. You see, we don't see those in heartache that used to be the ones playing, used to be the ones enjoying the world. And people used to look at them and said, wow, if I could just have what they have. But once the heartache comes, the devil is a master at covering that up. So we can only see those playing in the world. And we think, oh man, this way of serving God just so hard. Is it really? Now go ahead. Go to that other dead church that lets you play and live in the world. But you're going to lose the results of seeing souls saved and baptized weekly. You can go to the other side and enjoy your Saturdays playing and going to the lake and fishing, but you'll lose the joy of seeing God doing work in the lives of children and watching their lives turn into trophies of grace. Oh, you can leave the great ways, my friend, that seem to be so hard. Boy, I get tired of that one. But you'll one day look back and wish you could have those great ways again. The best way to keep from being wearied in the great ways is to keep working them and rejoicing in each blessing that you get to see. Every Sunday, you ought to rejoice. Never get used to the great ways, my friend. I have people in my church. It used to be a church in this area that's no longer. The church name is closed down. It's still in existence, but it moved out of the area, and I'm not doing what it used to be. And I don't want to mention the name, but it was a good church, and the pastor's still a good man, but just not doing what it used to be at all. And I have some people in my church that used to be in that church under this great man, and they sit in my church. They're now I think they're in their late 80s, early 90s, and they told me as they were here, they said, Brother Donald, we thought we'd never see it again. They said, thank you for allowing us to see it again. Now, it's not me. It's everybody working with me. And I often tell my church, don't get what we see around here. We better not get used to it. Some of you walk out and you go leave and you go some other church. You think, well, I'll go to some other church. And then you go there and you never see someone saved, and you never see lives baptized. You never see lives changed. You sit there in a dead church. It's doing nothing. And then you say, well, I wish I could have it back. Well, you could have if you wouldn't have left. And by the way, if you're still in the same town, get back to that church. I can't tell you. I can't tell you how many people have left Maranatha Baptist Church here. Either they moved away. I've had some people move away, and then they call me up. They said, there's no church like Maranatha Baptist Church in our area. So I told you that when you left. You should have stayed. I've had people leave our church, and then they come back and say, man, we've been around, and there is no place like Maranatha Baptist Church. And I'm not trying to brag about our church, but good night. I'm just telling you, God has blessed our church. We do see people saved and baptized weekly. Lives are being changed, and people don't understand the greatness of the way. And I'll be honest with you, if I was in a dead church and there was no church on fire in my area, I would resign my job or get transferred, and I would go to an area where there is a good church and get involved in it so I could be involved in the greatness of the way. Let me tell you what the problem is. The problem is everybody wants to go to that great church if they can get a position. If God wants you to move there, then move. Good night. One day, yeah, and you're missing out on great works. I can't tell you. There are scores of people that moved to Hammond, Indiana to get under Brother Howell's ministry. And they were involved in it. But some got wearied with the greatness of the way. I'm saying to you right now, find yourself a church, get in it, and don't get wearied with the great ways. If you're in a town where there's no great church, then move and get yourself to a place where there is a great church. Stop waiting around. Stop. Well, when everything falls into place, yeah, while everything's not falling into place, you're losing your children. You're becoming dead. And before long, you become complacent with where you are. You got to stop that. My friend, it's time that we learn to step out by faith, trust God, go get involved in a great church in a great way. And if you're in one of those kind of churches that's doing something great, my friend, don't get wearied with the greatness of the way. One day it's going to be gone, and you're going to look back and say, oh, I wish we could have it again. Well, you should have enjoyed it while you had it. My friend, that's my goal of my life, is that the people in my church get to enjoy the greatness of the ways what God's doing here until the day I die. I don't know what's going to happen after I die, but I know what's happening right now. And I beg God all the time, God, don't take it away. My friend, I'm going to challenge you. Get involved. Do something. Stop waiting. Move there. Because, my friend, once it's gone, you'll look back and you'll wish. And you start losing your family and your children. The coldness comes in, the worldliness starts coming in. Your life begins to change, but the heartache of that your grandchildren will experience because you got wearied with the greatness of the way, and you left or you lost it and never moved to another place. I'm just telling you, don't get wearied. When Brother Howes died, and then after him, another man took over. When that man began to stray, I moved to another church that I felt like God wanted me to be in. I was in that place. When some things happened there, I got out of there and I moved to another place where I thought God was working there. And then God opened the doors for here. And I took this church, and God's done a miraculous work here. Oh, my friend, I wanted my daughter to always be in a place where God's doing something. I like what my daughter says. I've never seen anything like what's going on here. She was not under Brother. She was born under Brother Houseman. She doesn't remember it. She's too young. My friend, let's not become weary with the greatness of the way. Many times what we have going on is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Enjoy it, revel in it, thank God for it, be involved in it, so one day you can look back and say, boy, I was part of that great work. And what the greatest thing we could do is just say, let's not become wearied in the greatness of our ways. Well, I hope this is a challenge to you today. Now, let's remember, be good to everyone.